Hello, copy fans. Welcome to another episode of Eat Me. This is episode 31. Been doing these a little while now. Seems like people are liking them more and more, so I'm going to keep it up. As usual, you can join me every weekday here at noon Eastern for another one of these. If you like it, be sure to click, subscribe or follow or like the page or any of that. I would appreciate it. Today, I want to talk to you about a really simple thing you can do to sort of increase the appeal of any sales pitch that you may be working on, or this also works for things like affiliate promotions or, a particular promotional message out of a sequence of messages, and it's just a sneaky little storytelling thing that seems obvious when you hear it, and it's very simple to do, but a lot of people kind of leave it out and forget about it. So I call it Futurecasting, but it's sort of like making a prediction, but less formal. And the idea is you are telling a story, an imaginary story about the customer or the prospect's imagined future after they've bought your product and start using it. So it can be as obvious as asking them to imagine it. It can be even done a little bit as like a jokey, sort of tongue-in-cheek thing. But what it does when the person is not resistant to it is their brain can't help following along and at least imagining a little bit, or opening themselves up to imagining a future in which they have bought and use the product that you're trying to sell them. So just to give you a quick example, Mike Heath and I just did a training for the Cult of Copy on using like a lazy sort of Facebook ad and content strategy to get leads for copywriters. And if I were selling that now that it's already been done and I saw how good the content is, I would say, just think about 6 months from now, after you've set this up, which you could literally do tomorrow, when you have basically leads on demand and you find yourself having to turn off your advertising machine and stop paying for advertising because as much of your time as you want is already booked, and you can turn it back on at any time that you feel like it. That is basically as simple as it can get, but what it does is when you frame it that way, it makes people sort of imagine and fill in the details of their own particular situation, because you're leaving them out. But if you tell me to imagine what it's like down the line when you have as many customers as you can handle, I think back, for me, automatically, I think back about how there were times in my career where it was difficult to make sure I had enough leads coming in, and I wondered where the next one was going to come from when I was in the middle of a project and didn't have another one lined up. You automatically start filling in your own personal details, and that's what makes this little future casting trick so powerful. Is it's really hard to convince someone that they don't want to buy your product when they've already imagined how cool it'll be to own it. At that point, the only thing they can possibly do to not buy it is if their logical brain comes up with a really, really good reason that they literally cannot buy it. Because from that point, all you have to do is just keep giving them little justifications that help them knock down their inner critic. Like, oh, I shouldn't spend this money right now. Why wait? It's cheap. Like that's what you can use these little opposition busters for, and they really hit home. Because once the prospect wants to buy, once they've imagined themselves owning it, like you're pretty much done. And it's pretty sneaky. You do see it in a lot of advertising, but I think it would always improve any marketing message that you're doing. And it's super easy to implement. Give it a shot. Let me know how it works for you. I use it all the time, even without thinking about it, because it's so simple. Give it a shot. If you do use it, let me know how it works. That's it for today. This has been me, Colin Terrio, from the Cult of Copy, for another episode of Eat Me. If you like these, join me every weekday at noon Eastern, and we'll do another one just like this. But even better, I promise. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.